Hello, my fellow fleshy organisms, and welcome to Nongunz, or Nongunz, or Nongunz. I don't know how umlauts work, so I'm assuming it's one of those. Anyway, Nongunz is a game about nihilism. It's also part resource management, part clicker, and part shooter. And this is the tutorial. It'll be over pretty quick, but you should enjoy it because this is about the most lucid and instructive the game will be at any given time. So with that finished, we get dropped unceremoniously into this little town. It's got two buildings, and this giant wall, which will become very important later. For now, we can just read the Latin up there, which says, "War is hella dope if you don't know anything about it, my dude." That is a loose translation. And that's about all this place has to offer, so let's go into the dungeon. So our objective in Nongunz is to proceed through the dungeon, kill the boss, get to the next floor, so on and so forth. It's fairly straightforward. Nobody tells you this, because nobody tells you anything in Nongunz. This game is viciously obtuse. There is no dialogue in this game. There are no instructions. Even the options menu is composed mostly of pictograms. You are sort of expected to just figure out everything yourself. Which I have over the past week, and now I will explain it. First of all, this is a treasure chest. These are scattered around. Opening them takes off a percentage of your health. They can never kill you, but they can whittle you down slowly. And we grab our first card. Cards are one of the upgrades in Nongunz. You can see that card has the number 3 and some parts on it. So after I kill this leg here, let's take a closer look at it. So what the 3 is how much our stat is boosted, and what the picture is what stat is boosted. So for instance, this gives us 3 more health. And this is a shop. We don't have any points. Points, as you see down at the bottom, are accumulated by shooting things. And you can also build combo by killing multiple things. For instance, I'm up to a ×4 combo right now. And as long as you can keep shooting stuff, your combo will continue to build. Let's open this thing. So this card, for instance, will give us 2 points of jumping and 3 points of low gravity, meaning we will fall slower. One thing to note about the cards is that they accumulate points extremely slowly. 2 or 3 points is just a drop in the bucket. It takes about 10 points before you see an actual difference. And before you can actually get a real difference, you're looking at like 100 points. So these first level cards are not going to do much. As levels goes on, cards become worth a bit more. But we'll see that later. So this is one of the special rooms. They appear on each floor. They are a treasure chest. These you can open for free. You do not take damage from these. And this one contains a bird head. Heads are the second form of upgrade in the game. They do special stuff. Like this one lets me double jump. It's a pretty good head. Over here's a window. We'll come back to this later. Windows are pretty important. But for now, let's kill a few more fingers and legs and other weird stuff. So you notice the last icon that we haven't touched yet is the pink skull on the bottom right of the mini-map. That is a boss. and I do not want to face that boss until I have gotten an item. Because trying to kill him with just a regular pistol is not going to go very well. So I've taken a fair bit of damage. My skeleton is not looking too hot. So I think it's time to bail. Which is what windows are for. You hop in one, and it drops you back into the village. And that is the core gameplay loop of Nongunz. You go in, get cards, get points, come back out, spend your points. And in this case, I'm going to spend my points on this sawed-off shotgun. Sadly, I don't have quite enough points. You'll have to fill it before it will actually become usable, which is going to take a few more runs. But that shouldn't be too big of a problem. It'll at least give us a chance to get a few more cards and a bit more treasure before we take on the first boss. Thankfully, most enemies are fairly easy to deal with early on. They all move slow. They have a few different attack patterns, but most of them are just either run into you or throw bullets at you. Those big tall guys don't even hurt you when they hit you with their bullets, they just kind of stick you in place. So this card makes our aim better, and it makes our bullets bigger. But like I said, we're not going to actually see a difference for quite a while. Cards do have a second use though, which I will show off, I imagine, pretty soon. These are flies. They are the worst enemy in the game, just because they are extremely hard to hit. You cannot aim in directions in Nongunz, you aim forward. You always aim forward, unless you're doing a power slide, then you can sort of aim up. The power slides are more useful because they give you a little extra oomph to your jump. So this guy in the cage over here is a worshipper. We want to grab as many of him as we can, because he will slowly make our points go up. Notice now I get points even when I'm not shooting the gun, just very slowly. The more worshippers we get, the more points we will rack up while being idle. Which is sort of where the clicker aspect of this game comes in. Because if you haven't noticed, every time I shoot my gun I get points. So in theory I could just stand around shooting my gun until I could afford a shotgun, and not even go into the dungeon. But my finger would get tired at this point. Got some intestines, that's nice. The actual images on the card don't mean anything. The icons do mean something, but the images themselves are completely random and just a bunch of weird stuff. Which is really pretty much this whole game, is weird stuff. So there's a shop over there through that door, but I don't really want to buy anything right now. I'm saving my points for a shotgun. Probably do is head down and try to find that treasure room. Got a pretty good combo going right now, so I should be getting a lot of points out of this. And I'm gonna want to kill everything in this room just to keep that up. Oh, I lost it, but as you see, I made bank on that. So let's see what we get this time. Another head. I think this is the portal head. It is. It's not very useful. To be honest, most of the heads in this game are pretty bad. But one or two are amazing, like the bird head. The gun also has a bit of recoil, so if you're not paying attention, you can sort of push yourself back over an edge, which is occasionally bad if there's spikes there or something. So I'm gonna need a window pretty soon. I'm not sure the game is inclined to give one to me right now. Oh, there's one. Thankfully they are fairly prolific. But since I'm here, I'll just murder everything. See if there's another card somewhere. Some toothpaste. It's pretty good. And I broke my combo, so I might as well bail. So with this, I should have just enough to afford a shotgun. Yep. Now I could keep putting points in. You see the tip of it has turned a little blue. If I fill it up again, I will get a tier 2 weapon. But right now I only really need tier 1. And there's my little worshiper down there doing the work. He's a bit lonely. Should probably fix that soon. So I've been playing Nongunz for the past week and a few days. Unfortunately, I did not get a chance to beat it before I wiped my save to start over. And that's mostly because accessing the last boss it takes a ridiculous bit of doing. And not that it's hard, it's just time consuming. But I'm thinking I'll probably play this through to completion for the LP, because I do enjoy it. So we will probably see the final boss at some point. So this is not a good place to be. Let's see what's in here. Portal head again. Great. So I think this time we will stop by the skeleton shop. And I'll probably stop opening chests because I'm going for a boss run, and when you're doing that, there's no point to lowering your health. There's another worshiper. That's good. Here we go. So one thing, when you buy stuff from this guy, you do recover a tiny bit of health. Which I just lost, because I'm good at games. The boss door will probably be at the bottom right. Yep, there it is. So the second use for cards is that you can burn them to heal. When you burn them, you lose your upgrades. But these are level 1 and 2 cards, so they're worth almost nothing. you can also burn your equipment. So I can burn one of these heads. Get that. So let's pay a visit to the boss. The bosses in this game are always the same on floors. And the first one is this guy. Shotguns ruin him. So he has two things he does. First of all, he flies around, and second of all, he spits out flies. But shotguns make short work of flies. And make short work of him. So once we beat a boss, we get an elevator to the next level, where things will get a tiny bit harder. So for this level, I'm going to want a different weapon for the boss, and that would be a melee weapon. Which means that I will probably do what I did for the first run and collect a bunch of cards, bail, buy the weapon I need, and come back. But as you get lower in floors, you start to get a bit more challenging platforming obstacles. You get these thwomps, and you get those syringes that just spam attacks. I am also damaged, so let's burn our portal head and our crocodile head. We don't need that. And a few more cards. It is extremely important to not die in Nongunz. This game has one of the harshest punishments for death I have probably seen in a roguelike, because all of your upgrades carry over through sessions, all your weapons carry over through sessions, and as soon as you die, you lose everything you had when you're going into the dungeon. So say you have a bunch of really good cards and really good weapons, well, you die and they're gone, and then you have to grind for them all over again. This doesn't look safe. Again, notice these cards are markedly better than the other ones. That's a 4 and a 5. In the first level, you usually only see 2 to 3. But yeah, the basic gameplay loop of Nongunz is fairly simple. Go in, get cards, you get out. There's another treasure room. So once you get past the first level, the treasures you get will start being tier 2, which are blue. So this blue revolver will do much more damage than a regular revolver or my normal gun. Kills these guys in 1 to 2 shots. Although, to be honest, the plain old gun you get is actually going to be pretty useful for almost the entirety of your run, because it doesn't use ammo, it does decent damage to even the highest tier enemies. Well, that didn't work out like I thought. Where's the door I need? So actually that crocodile head would be kind of useful here, but oh well. So the Worshipper, those guys are always nice. One thing about cards is you notice there is a little bar at the bottom. That bar is how long they last. I think it's about 30 minutes. After that, the cards go away. These guys kind of mirror your movements. They shoot when you shoot. They're not that hard to kill, although most of the time it's kind of pointless to do so. Looks like there's a window up there, and it's about time I left. I can just get through these guys. Bees? Bees, please. Let's see if there's a treasure chest up here. No, there's a lot of bees though. Yeah, I think I'm not going to bother. Instead, let's see if we can buy something over here. What I want is either the axe or the katana. I believe the katana costs slightly less, but the axe is better, so I'm going to go with that. And ideally I would like a blue axe for this, but in the effort to show as much off as fast as possible, I'm going to go with the normal axe and hope I don't die. So since this is a boss rush, I'm gonna make a beeline towards the boss and not open any chests. Although I will hit the treasure rooms. It's because they could still have things like rocket launchers, which are pretty good. These guys aren't blue anymore. There's a blue one. So you notice enemies now have tier 2 versions, which are blue, much as guns have tier 2 versions, which are also blue. Upgrade in tiers make enemies have more health, and they hit a bit harder. Their attacks also become somewhat more frequent, although they're not especially dangerous. And there's sort of a consequence for carrying higher tier weapons. If you carry a blue weapon into the dungeon, you get blue enemies. If you carry regular weapons into the dungeon, you get normal enemies. So on and so forth. That's the shop, which I don't really want to go to. That was close. Spikes actually don't hurt that much. You would think they would. I should actually probably be using my blue gun against these guys. If I could aim. There we go. So I've realized a small problem with my plan. I don't have much shotgun ammo, and the first boss kind of requires the shotgun to kill. Although I might be able to do it with the revolver and the rocket launcher. Rocket launcher is a pretty safe second bet. It'll just take a bit longer. But nothing ventured, nothing gained, and so forth. So yeah, blue revolver does a fair bit of damage. I'm hoping they'll take care of the flies, because they're the main problem. Yeah, higher tier weapons usually chump bosses in the early levels. It looks like we've got some treasure over here. So let's see what that is. Another rocket launcher, that's not too bad. And let's pick up a few cards here. And then we'll make our way to the boss. So these wall clinging guys, in addition to exploding when you kill them, make your bullets do funny drop-offs. It's kind of hard to see sometimes, but they screw with your bullet pattern. Ow. I'm not doing too well, but I do have a bunch of cards to burn, so I should be alright. You'll notice occasionally when I shoot orange bullets. Those are critical hit bullets. They do twice the amount of damage. Also, these finger guys are annoying. They have tracking shots. So let's burn some cards. We'll burn the ones that are worth the least. Equip our melee weapon, and then we'll take on the second boss. This dude is pretty easy. He has a fairly predictable pattern. It's kind of dangerous to jump at him, but as long as you stay on the ground and use melee weapons, you'll be fine. Oh, it's close. Yeah, if I had a tier 2 axe, this would go much faster. He also has kind of a weird hitbox, and I feel like I get hit when jumping when I really shouldn't. Which is why I just kind of stay on the ground where it's safe. And that's the second boss. Not too bad. So I think the plan is going to be grab as much treasure as I can, find the treasure room, buy some stuff from the skeleton, and then get out. And I think I'm going to call the video here, because the next part is just going to be me looking for a window and buying stuff. But I will probably do the next 2 bosses next time, and then hopefully do a 3rd video for the final boss. But for now, goodbye, non-skeleton people.